Welcome back to Rewind Rental, episode 10.
Oh, wait, are we
It's a
starting?
very special episode. Yes, we've
Oh,
started.
sorry, I was in the middle of talking and then you just started.
I didn't hear. Anyway,
Great.
Rewind Rental, episode 10. Very special episode. Bit of
Can we start again?
No, we're not starting again.
Fuck.
Fine.
We're using this
Rewind
take.
Rental, episode 10. A very special episode. It's our 10th episode. I feel that maybe we weren't. People didn't think we'd get this far, but look at us now. This week we're talking about a FilmBro favorite, American Psycho, by Mary. Who directed it? Mary Harron. By Mary Harron, starring Christian Bale, Jared Leto, Reese Witherspoon. Who else is in it?
Willem Dafoe.
Matt Ross, who played Gavin Belson in Silicon Valley. That's how
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, okay. Stephen
So
Bogart.
this week's Callum's pick. Take that as you will. So Callum, would you like to run us in with the synopsis?
Yeah. A wealthy New York investment, let's say banking executive, Patrick Bateman, hides his alternate psychotic ego from his co-workers and friends as he delves into, let's just say, his violent and Hindenist fantasies. I was reading straight from the IMDb.
I was about to say, did you just read the IMDb synopsis in a weird
basically
voice?
it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically it. So yeah, American Psycho, very famous, famously brought up among other films like Pulp Fiction, Inception, as it's kind of a meme, almost, to be brought up by these film students. I see on the talks when I browse that it's kind of a meme.
Is this
when
TikTok?
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of a meme when film students go like, "Oh, what? You haven't seen American Psycho?" and all that other shit. Same with Fight Club. I know this is definitely a tangent I want to go on, but I know film students are kind of especially male film students. Sorry, are getting kind of a bad rap, which I will not deny.
They're all a
some.
bunch of wankers.
Yeah, I won't
As male film students ourselves.
Yeah,
I can
therefore
attest.
We can say it because they're all wankers, and I guess we kind of are as well.
No, I won't. You can't say it's not like. I think it's a bit dumb to say that it's not happening, because I feel like it is, because I feel like we've definitely heard conversations like that before, where students go like, "What? You haven't seen this film? It's the greatest film of all time." And it's also kind of like, I know Quentin Tarantino's works are definitely one that they go after the most, because it's kind of like, ooh,
It's the kids who think Donnie Darko is like the greatest film ever made of all time.
Yeah, but like, because that argument, it's made me think, am I a film bro? And then I looked through my collection, I'm like, yeah, I have some of them, but like, they're not my favorite films of all time.
A wise man once said, I don't know about art, but I know what I like. So, that's...
Who was that wise man?
That wise man was Lux Interior, lead singer of The Cramps, my favorite band of all time.
Oh, fair enough. I think it's a fairly good quote.
That's pretty good.
So,
But yeah,
I don't know.
Sorry, go on.
I don't really... Like, I get the meme, and I get that film students that say that kind of stuff is a meme, and yeah, for me, sure, I might own those films that are a part of that meme, or I've seen them at least, but like, I don't know. They're just films that fit my taste in general, you know.
I think based on my interaction with them, I'm taking this from an outside perspective. Based on my interactions with you, Evan, I don't think you fit the film bro narrative, because you're always suggesting films that people would like based on those picks.
True.
Those obscure, many 70s lesser known films.
Like in class when you were like, when we had to do some like EPK, and you're just like, and our teacher was like, "Oh, what film are you doing, Evan?" And then he's like, "You sure you want to do that film?" I've never heard of this.
He's like, "I don't know this film. Do you sure you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, pretty sure, buddy. I do."
Evan says while he pulls out his poster from his collection.
He's like,
DVD,
I was like,
signed a lithograph.
"Look here, mate. I got a book about the movie's production. All right, fucking, I'm good. I got material to work with.
I waited 2 months for this to come in the mail. I am a big brain.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't think we fit the film. If anything, Callum, I think you kind of have some of the tendencies. You yourself are not a film bro either.
I reckon I fit that sort of narrative of kind of like a.
I think we're
like a
all self-aware enough, though, anyway, not to be.
Yeah, like I think Callum definitely you definitely have characteristics, but I wouldn't classify you as one.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
No.
I appreciate that.
I'm glad we got not so off topic for the very first discussion.
This is record timing.
No,
We
because
went
it is
tangent in
on
4
topic.
minutes.
I know it's
It is on-
I know it's relevant.
No,
but
it
it's
is on
not,
topic because I'm gonna tie it back to the movie, but
I know it's not on topic,
I think-
but it's not about the film
yeah.
itself.
nah, fair enough. But my because I think my I know I don't my favorite director is probably I'd have to say I don't actually have a favorite director. I have favorite movies. I have favorite actors. I have favorite writers.
I don't think I can narrow it down to a single pick. It's got to be like a top 10 or something at least. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah,
hard.
it's
Yeah,
definitely
I don't think I
mine are
could
based on
either.
the movies. Mine are based on the movies basically because they say. Now the films that I'm going to mention, they are still good pieces of cinema, but but mentioning them have now become kind of like a basic bitch. What I'm blanking on the words. Kind of like it mean you're a bit basic if you like only talk about these films. But the ones that I see the most are
Fight Club.
yeah, Fight Club every fucking time.
Nightcrawler.
But,
They talk about Nightcrawler a lot.
Nightcrawler I haven't seen. That's more. I'd say that's more niche in terms of like the meme of the spectrum.
I don't know. I've
Yeah,
seen
Fight
it.
Club
I've seen
definitely.
It sometimes.
Prob
And
most
Donnie
likely, yeah.
Darko, definitely.
Donnie Darko I've seen. Yeah, Inception,
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction definitely. The Godfather. The Godfather's one. Shawshank Redemption. But they I don't think they're as. They're not. If I had to label it down to 3, it's probably Pulp Fiction, Inception, and Fight Club. They're like the most basic film bro films. American Psycho, like this one's definitely one of them.
I'd probably add Interstellar instead of Inception, but yeah, I agree for the most part.
I haven't seen Interstellar, but I do seen like in the meme. Also haven't seen it, but I do agree. It is kind of like people are like, "What? You don't think this is the greatest film of all time? What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, settle down." But then there's also the argument just like about how men kind of mansplain. Now, I'm not bringing this up, but like men kind of mansplain female directors because they don't know.
I hope I didn't
lot of them, but I know-
mansplain the plot to you guys when I read that out. Just on a side note there.
We're not having this discussion.
Anyway,
Oh no! Anyway.
my
Yeah.
my perspective on it is that if you like a film from a female director, I don't think you have to. I don't think it's I don't think you can be told off for explaining something that you like, as long as you actually do like it. You're not just faking it for whatever
if you
reason.
if you like it and you can justify it, go on. Like as
Yeah.
they say, go off, sis. Do whatever. But that was the that was the fucking oh god.
We're
Anyway.
cutting this bit out.
Oh fuck off.
I think we'll share this bit. Okay.
But yeah, if you like something enough and you can justify your liking for it, just go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't let people tell you what you can and can't like.
Speaking of liking, did
just-
you guys like this movie?
I love this movie. I have seen this movie so many times. I haven't read the book. I do want to read the book. By who's the writer?
Brett Easton Ellis.
That's the one. I do want to read it. I hear it's way more fucked up than the movie. But doesn't never stop me before. I don't know. I feel like it'll be hard to read the book and not picture Christian Bale, because it's one of those characters that he's done that he's just fit into the role so perfectly for me. I can't imagine anyone else playing the character.
He's so perfect for it.
Yeah.
It's weird
don't know.
when I was watching when he goes, "I'm 27," and I'm like, "Oh, it's only 7 years older than me." That's a bit weird. Ugh.
He looks like he's at least 20 years older than us, but sure.
Oh, did you see his skincare routine?
I mean, yeah, he looks young in the movie because of the whole skincare thing, but like, still, it's weird.
It definitely carries a lot of value in terms of social commentary because it did see as a lot of statements were made in terms of how these Wall Street types like how they
Yuppies.
carry themselves.
Yuppies.
Yeah, yuppie culture,
culture,
as
yeah.
I saw in the articles. Funny enough, also side note, this had a female director, which I was surprised. But yeah, I think Mary Harron did an amazing job.
She did a film
it
last
win?
year, I think.
Did it win any awards? American Psycho?
8 wins and 13 nominations. I'll have a look what it won.
Oh, fair
It
enough.
won
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be surprised if it didn't.
the Awards Circuit Community Award. Don't know what that is.
If it's not the Oscars, it doesn't stand any value. If the Academy didn't agree to it, I don't want to hear it.
Fangoria Chainsaw Award.
That's the kind of awards I trust.
International Horror Guild Award.
I wouldn't call it a horror movie. It was-
National Board of Review Award.
I mean, it has horror in it, but I'd say it's honestly it's more of a comedy than a horror.
There were so many funny moments in this. I forgot how amusing they were. Amusing this
I didn't
movie
find
was.
any of the funny moments.
I think it's just like it's all in the dialogue, just like subtle like things, you know.
Like I mean, he's clearly an arsehole, but I did find it amusing how he's always like, don't wear that again to his secretary. Like, oh, come on,
He's just such an asshole
such a
to
bad
everybody.
guy.
Or
I think I
with
thought
when
it was also clear.
Reese
yeah.
Witherspoon's talking to him, and he's just ignoring it completely.
Like, he's just like he's in
She's-
the van like,
she's-
I'm trying to listen to the new Huey Lewis and the News album.
That was Robert Palmer,
noticed-
wasn't it? He was listening to it. She's
Oh,
just
yeah.
planning. She's planning their wedding, and she's crying. And he's just completely ignoring it.
Yeah, and he's like, I can't control my my bloodlust. I think I want to go. But two things I definitely noticed was, for someone who has that much sex with women, he's very flamboyant in his interests.
I think that's
I think he's just a
part of
sicko.
like. I think that's again part of the whole like satire of 80s yuppie culture.
There have been analysi of the film where they suspect that he might be a closeted homosexual, which you know.
I think that's a fair argument.
I don't.
But
I don't
definitely
see-
because
I don't see how that could be the case.
I feel like
I think it's definitely it fits in the 1980s Wall Street culture because it's a bit of a boys' club.
yeah, in the culture that,
Like,
that he's a part of, I feel like that would be something that he would feel he has to hide as a
Yeah.
person.
Like even with Lewis in the bathroom, when he puts his hands
With
around
what?
his neck with the leather gloves and like he washes them, because Lewis thinks that Patrick's coming onto him.
Oh, that was a very strange scene.
But you can see that's another thing too. His facial expressions when Lewis touches him on the shoulders, the look on his face.
Yeah, he's just
Like,
disgusted.
like
but I think he's also.
he hates people touching his clothes enough,
Yeah,
and he's already like.
But the way I saw it, I kind of felt like maybe he was just a bit conflicted onto how he actually feels because, the whole question is, was anything he did real, or was it all a dream? And I think that finally answers in the end of the film before he gives his closing monologue, and the lawyer tells him about how he had lunch with Paul like 10 days ago.
I love that mental breakdown he has on the phone to his lawyer at the end. I love that entire scene.
that whole
Well, at the
that
phone
whole
booth.
scene from
Yeah.
from where he tries to put a cat into an ATM.
Yeah.
Just that whole thing where he's just tripping out.
From there to shooting the police car and just explodes.
That was terrific. I loved it. And then he just
he
walks,
just looks at his gun. He's like, "What the fuck?" I guess. All right, whatever.
and he just
He
starts
walks
walking
up.
through, and there's like the guy at the reception. He just shoots him. The cleaner kills him. Just everyone.
Yeah.
I think he definitely, if anything, he might have been schizophrenic. I'm talking about the character like as a whole, because in the book they talk about how he has struggles dealing with his father and all that, or his bad relationship with his parents and all that. And that there might be ties to
I
it.
did feel like there was more in the book. I mean, not that I've read the book, but I feel like there was more. They were hinting at there was more in the book with his father because he owned
Yeah, I
the
think there
company
was.
and stuff.
I did like. I think it worked for how vague the movie was, though. I feel like it would have bogged the movie down too much if they tried to fit in all
Oh,
the
yeah,
I
backstory.
think it would. I think it would have changed. It would have changed it into more of a character piece when instead it was more of his slow descent into insanity.
I think it is a character piece, though, for the most part, anyway, because it's all about just him and observing him,
Well,
do what he does.
It's about the American Psycho.
Oh, I'd say it's more a piece on like as the culture as a whole. In that kind of takes the antagonist approach, because no one really causes a threat to Patrick except himself.
The biggest threat, I would say that isn't himself is Willem Dafoe's character, the detective Kimball.
Yes, I love Willem Dafoe.
I do too.
It was weird seeing him so young in this.
It's good. Every time Willem Dafoe's on screen, you're going to get a good movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lighthouse, Spider-Man, Life Aquatic.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that video of him from Spider-Man where he's coming out of the Green Goblin machine and then he grabs the guy's throat and he just goes ravioli.
Yes,
I
think
have not.
this.
That sounds hilarious.
I'll send it to you after the show.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, Willem Dafoe's definitely a solid actor. I'm a big fan of his
Have
work.
you seen the weird video he did talking about the gaps in his teeth?
No.
No.
Oh, it's weird. He's like, my teeth have gaps. My father said I should get rid of them, but I like my gaps. It's a very strange.
There's
video.
there's that gif of him in like the back seat where he has his eyes are like
Yeah.
extremely wide and he's got that big smile and he's like turning his head back and forth.
He was.
I don't know what movie that's from.
Everyone
but it's
wanted
funny.
him to play the Joker in a Batman movie.
I feel like it'd be interesting to see that. I don't know if
It'd
that.
be interesting to see, but I don't know how well it would play out in like the grand scheme of things. I mean, they've already Joker 2 and 3 are not confirmed, but there's whispers.
I don't know how I feel about that, because Joker is such a good standalone character study kind of movie. That acts like, not acts. That feels like something like the movie that's been compared to, like Taxi Driver and King of Comedy.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I know there's so much source material in the comics, and the Joker's a character that's gonna tie into all this, and maybe it'll tie into the new Batman movie and whatever else.
Well, I think that's what they're planning, or they're rumoring.
I mean, I don't
Do they want to
I
do
don't
like a
dislike that.
multiverse?
I don't dislike that tone. I love the tone of Joker, and I love the tone that the new Batman movie seems to be taking. And that's the kind of tone I'd like to see. Like, in the same way that Christopher Nolan made it kind of plausible.
It's more realistic, Christopher Nolan's one.
Yeah, I like the still comic book, but also gritty style of Joker and what seems to be the new Batman film.
Well, the Joker, in terms of being more comic booky, it's kind of, people have compared it to DC's Black Label, where they make if for those who don't know, Black Label are more. One of the stories is
Was that Batman Damned?
that's one
Is
of
that-
them.
is- that's where you saw Batman's dong.
Yeah, there's the Bat Dick.
That's the only thing I know from the Black Label.
Yeah, there's Dark Knight, Last Night on Earth. There's Curse of the White Knight, where it's like Jack Napier, who's Joker in one of the universes, is a cop, and Batman is kind of this antagonistic vigilante that he was portrayed as in some other forms. But the Black Label books, they're more, instead of the regular rectangular cover, they're more squarish.
So is
They're
it basically a
wider.
line for more adult readers, basically?
More dark, kind of, yeah. More,
kinda
it's
like
more artistic. It's
Marvel's
definitely more the artistic
Max
stories.
Comics for like
Yeah,
Punisher
yeah,
and
no,
Nick Fury.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely, yeah. Marvel Max it's kind of, yeah, and DC Black Label, it's more like the artistic kind of illustrations.
I mean, that's my jam. I love Punisher Max. I haven't read the Nick Fury ones, but I love Punisher Max.
I think you should look into the Black Label.
I should. I haven't read many
Books.
or any DC comics actually.
The
But yeah, they're thinking of doing some like Black Label films. So I know Joker's one. There were talks of a Lex Luthor one, but I don't know how interesting that would be because I'm not a fan of Lex Luthor personally.
I'd love to see
'cause
Curse
he's
of the White
fucking
Knight
annoying.
as a movie.
I want to read that. That looks. I'm probably gonna pick
I've
that
seen
up.
I've been looking at the action figures that McFarlane Toys have released from that. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, because Batman, his illustration or his design is more similar to Dark Knight Returns. It's more chunky.
Well, it reminds me of Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, I think that's another Black Label story.
That got turned into a animated movie.
Yes, they're speaking of animated movies. They're making Death in the Family soon.
You're gonna say that? Oh, you're making American Psycho the animated series.
Speaking of American Psycho being made into things, there was talks of a musical being made. They were going to make an American Psycho Broadway musical.
I think that could fit. I think that'd be really funny.
I hate musicals.
I think in terms of what others found as comedic, I just found a bit unsettling. Not unsettling, but it was just kind of like, geez, this guy's fucking weird.
It's meant to be.
When he was just hardcore sit-ups. When he
To
was just
Texas
thrusting
Chainsaw, to
sit-ups.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
And then while he was talking to his girlfriend while like hardcore porn plays on the TV.
He's just trying to book a table with
Reservation at
just
Dorsia.
porn
Yeah.
in the background.
Yeah, I was just like, this guy's a fucking nutter.
I think I just have a fucked sense of humor, which is why I find a lot of it funny. I don't know.
Well, I understand that people would find it comedic because there's definitely punchlines to it, but I just thought it was just weird. Also, I noticed no one really liked him.
Yeah, like how everyone's like, but really, Bateman, he's a loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one, because everyone seems to mistaken him for other people. Like Paul did, the lawyer did. They seem to think he was someone else. So
Which
it's kind of
plays into his own pretending, like when he pretends to be
Yeah,
Paul
it's
Allen
like
after he
he-
kills him.
But it also speaks
he
to.
definitely has that complex, sort of the main character complex, which is being thrown around.
But it also speaks
now,
to the
as some people
commentary
say.
of yuppie culture, how everyone kind of becomes the same.
Yeah, it's like also it's sort of like Patrick's self-importance being completely blown out of proportion.
Yeah. Despite the fact that he's a piece of shit as a person and a horrible, horrible person,
He's terrible.
I find it odd how certain things he says are very relatable.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
Well-
Not everything, and obviously
See,
there's certain things.
I do have to step in now because this is kind of. Now I understand. I know. Sorry, I'm having a starburst. Just to preface.
Stop with the
No
fucking
eating on
Starburst.
the
Not making this the thing.
podcast. No eating on the podcast.
It's done. But to preface this, Patrick Bateman is one of those characters that, for the ladies out there, if someone says they relate to Patrick Bateman, fucking turn the other way. Now, I'm not saying that my co-hosts relate to Patrick Bateman, but I am saying, if you unironically say you relate to Patrick Bateman, Rick from Rick and Morty, the Joker, Travis Bickle, you're a fucking nutcase.
I'm not
Who's
saying
Tra-
I relate
who's
to him. I'm
Travis
saying
Bickle?
something. Taxi driver.
Oh, right.
I'm not saying I relate to him. I'm saying certain things he says are relatable.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying, like, I'm speaking from. I'm talking generally because I know there
I
are
know.
people who are like, oh, Patrick Bateman's such a good, he's, he gets a bad rap, but I think he starts to say some pretty good things. You know what? You're a fucking Manson child. You know what?
No, I
Actually,
agree. I agree with
Go
people who
fuck
say
yourself.
shit like that.
I relate to.
I'm just saying
I
that.
relate to him, where how he's like just spouting trivia at people, like about music. I relate.
That's
I
me.
relate to that.
That's me with movies.
Yeah, like I'll watch like a wisecrack video or something, and I'll be like, look at all this trivia I can now tell people.
Yeah, someone will bring up something mildly relevant to a movie I know and love. I'll be like, "Did you know that this movie?" And I'm just, the people just look at me. People give me that same look that they give him in the movie.
Like even when Kimball pulls out the Huey Lewis and the News CD, I'm kind of I thought like, oh, did he take that from Patrick's apartment? But he's like, oh, I just picked it up. And when he's like, do you like music? Patrick just goes, no, I don't like music. And then in like the very next scene when he's with the escorts, he keeps talking about Whitney Houston. Wait, no, that was the later one. He talks about Phil Collins.
That's funny.
Yeah, those
I
those
thought
music
when,
scenes are great.
The second time he takes out that Christie woman, which I felt so bad for her because
Was it the secretary? I don't remember her name.
No, Christy was the blonde
The escort
one
that,
who
that
got.
he. What did he do? What did he do to them on the first time they went to his house?
I don't know. He pulled out like a coat hanger and what's the word? Scalpel. Yeah, and I was just like, what the fuck?
It was weird.
And then they ended up leaving, and then one of them had like scratches on her back, and they all looked very upset, and I was just like, God, this is a bit hard to watch. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And then he just was standing at the door giving them money, like with that grin that he does, which is a massive shit-eating grin.
But that's also because I know, in comparison, that's kind of like when men have all this power, they kind of get into, the a bit more promiscuous or more vile and perverted activities.
Yeah, it's definitely
Similar to Paul Giamatti's character in Billions. I remember you were saying, Callum, that he ends up getting pissed on in the first episode.
It's not even in the first episode. Right as the opening shot of Billions is Paul Giamatti tied up with completely naked, and his wife comes in and then puts a cigarette out on his chest and then goes, "Ooh, that looks like that hurt," and pisses on him.
Yeah, it's just unsettling. It's just disgusting to know that people get into that. Like, you can be into that, that's fine, but don't get me involved.
And
So
don't put it on in the
fucking-
very first opening of Billions. It's weird.
Didn't Sorkin write Billions?
No, I thought he did, but someone else. It's a great show,
So I
though.
was gonna say, but like when people get to that certain level, they kind of feel like they need it to is it justification? I don't know. It's weird. I think it's definitely I assumed it was kind of because he didn't wear protection, so he kind of had to get his fluids.
Yeah, we get what
to-
we get what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I was just like. That's a fucking just give her the morning after pill. Jesus Christ, Bateman. But I assumed that he was going to kill them when he pulled out the coat.
No,
hanger.
that's the
And I was
second
just like,
time.
No, the second one he like fucking bites on the woman's
I did
bites her in the.
I did
in the
find it
critter.
amusing when the second escort came in, he goes, "You're not really blonde, are you? You're more of a dirty blonde."
Like, just a dickhead.
Like, he's just such an
everywhere.
arsehole.
As well as, I know I said before that something he says is kind of relatable. This isn't going off from that, but this movie
Going, Evan.
is so quotable for a movie about a fucked up serial killer or possible serial killer. It's an insanely quotable movie.
There's so many good quotes.
Yeah, it's well
I think
written.
It's well written. It's great. I love the writing in it, and some of the lines I know are taken directly from the book. I think most of the monologues, but yeah, I don't know if all the quotable stuff is from the book or not.
I think this is the most
But it's
quotes
hila-
I've ever written down for a movie.
Yeah, no, because there's just so many lines that just stick out. Now, I have a very tall Patrick Bateman figure behind me that I found at a local market for like $10, and it has motion activated voice. So when you take the little thing out of the switch and turn it on, and you walk past it, it says different lines from the movie.
Can you make it say a line now?
I could, but I'd have to get off my chair to grab it.
Oh, it's
I'm not really doing that for the podcast. It probably sounds fucking weird over the mic
I
anyway.
think my favorite quote from the whole movie is when he goes to Paul's house, and he goes, the amount of shock came over me as I went into his house, not only because of the stress of having his body, but his apartment was clearly more expensive than mine.
Yeah, he's just so wrapped up in his own head.
I think the business card scene is the one that most people remember as well.
Every time
so good.
every time the business cards come out, I always think, like, he's gonna have a fucking tantrum.
Yeah.
Like he's sweating as much as me when I had the chicken with you guys.
You're not wrong.
We told you not to get the chicken, but you still fucking.
You went for level 3 spice. We told you not to. Was it level
It was
3 or
level
level 2?
4
Level
out of
4.
5.
Oh my god.
My man's sweating
No,
over
because
the
yeah,
chicken.
me and Evan wanted to enjoy our food. You just wanted to
Die.
Yeah,
It was good.
Look, we were entertained. We had entertainment to watch while we were eating our food, and so did the waitress.
She would get walking past like, are you okay? And I'm like,
I think she was just checking she didn't have to call the
Oh,
ambulance for
fine.
you.
I'm just dying.
I don't think she really gave a shit. I think we just kept kind of like, he's fucking dying.
I think she was as amused as we were.
He was pretty headstrong, going, "Oh, you know, I can have it." And I told him, I was like,
You said that to her. She just looks at you like, "All right, buddy."
Well, I'm like, hey, do you think I could have Sex Panther? And she goes, no, you can't. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's the first time I've ever heard anybody who works in a shop not recommend something that they're
Yeah,
selling.
it was.
It took me
It's
by
probably 'cause
surprise.
it's probably because you need like a waiver.
You need to build like up a tolerance for that level of spice in your
Oh
food.
well, it's my mission. Next time we go there, I'm just gonna slowly build my tolerance to. And
I
one
think
day
just
get
eat
Sex
the
Panther.
same amount. Just eat the same heat level. Don't go higher. Just leave it as is until you're used to it, and then go higher.
Yeah, that's gonna be the trick.
He won't
No, we
do
will.
that.
We're gonna be spending a lot of money there.
You can. I'm not.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, go right ahead,
I'll
buddy.
go eat chicken wings alone then.
You have to eat chicken wings alone. I'm just not gonna buy 20 million things of the same one. I'll sit there and watch you die. I don't care. But
But every
I'm
time
not
I'll be
buying-
dying a little less.
All right, fair enough.
Is this good content?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Oh, sorry, I should ask this. Is this good content? Was that better? Was that a good Bateman impression?
No, it was just your timing. Is this good? We're just talking about fucking eating spicy chicken. You're like, is this good content? I don't know what we're doing anymore.
I'm sitting there and like, this bit's going on too long. I don't like the bit.
Next
yeah,
time you're eating your spicy chicken, Callum, I'm gonna say don't just stare at it, eat it.
I will.
Oh my.
Next time you take a break from its place.
Yeah, but then there's the mystery of whether he did it or not. What
Is
was
it whether I
You
ate the
like you
chicken or
change
not?
the subject.
whether he killed all those people? Because he goes back to the apartment and then the woman's like, "I think you should leave."
I like how vague it is, because
And then she's like, "Did you see the ad in the Times?" He goes, "No." I'm just like, "There was no ad in the Times. Get out."
Yeah, I don't know
That's
what the deal with that woman was.
I think she was just trying to catch him to see if he was lying.
mm,
Because I don't know. Clearly, it's probably a problem in New York. People just rock up to open apartment things
yeah,
when it's a private listing.
I feel like
Can't have shit in New York.
I mean not in the 80s, but yeah, no, I feel like this is one of those movies where you don't really, I still don't really have a definitive answer on whether I think it was real or not.
Mary Harron probably has an answer.
Possibly, unless she pulls a David Fincher and goes, "It's up to you."
No, she
I don't
did.
know.
She did.
Isn't that-
I was
isn't that
watching
David
an
Lynch?
interview.
Oh,
I
that's
was
the right
watching
one.
An interview
Oops.
with her, and she said, "I wish I'd made the movie more ambiguous."
There you go.
Should have just brought in David Lynch.
I want to see David Lynch's American Psycho. People are like, explain this to me. No, I don't want to.
Let's probably start off with the ending and then go back into the
And the
Probably.
business
To the
card
main
scene
one.
would be like
I had
half the
a-
movie.
I had a friend who watched Mulholland Drive recently, and she said I should watch it, and I kind of I thought back to our David Lynch joke about how he's like, "Can you explain the movie?" And he goes, "No, I don't want to." And it's just like I like him as a person, but I don't know if I'd like his work.
Everyone talks about Twin Peaks, and I've never seen it, and I don't understand a single thing every time I see a clip
It's
from
good.
it.
It's
Every
really
episode
good.
is like an hour and a half long.
It's really good. I think you'd really like it, Evan.
I don't get anything about it or what it's about, and everyone talks about it, and I'm so confused all the time.
All I know of it is Machen Amick, who plays Alice Cooper in Riverdale.
All I know,
That's how I know.
all I
That's
know
how
is-
I know Twin Peaks.
David Lynch plays an FBI agent in it. I think.
What's the thing where he asks the monkey if he's a Nazi?
That's a Netflix movie.
Are you a Nazi? And the monkey just goes.
No, the monkey talks. He's got like a full on mouth on him, and he's just like,
Oh, does the
yeah,
monkey
the monkey's
talk?
just
Oh,
like,
fucking-
I did not kill my wife, and
This
David
man's a
Lynch is like,
lunatic.
I know you killed your wife, damn it.
I love that bit in Family Guy where he's Santa Claus and he comes in and is like, leave me a plate of black coffee and nothing else. He's like, hello, I'm David Lynch, and then he just crawls back up the chimney.
Was his actual voice that he did, or was it someone else?
They got the voice actor to play who plays Gus
Oh.
in the Cleveland show to do it, because that's basically that's basically David Lynch. The illustration for the barman in the Cleveland show, it's basically David Lynch.
Fair enough.
It's called What
Show?
Did Jack Do? With him and the monkey.
Is the monkey Jack?
Yeah. Yeah, the monkey is Jack, and then David Lynch is a detective.
Oh god. Yeah, it was interesting seeing other actors that I recognised, because I saw Reese Witherspoon. Funny enough, I saw Reese Witherspoon, and I was gonna say, I was like, oh, did Evan recognise her this time?
Yes, I'd reckon that's how she normally. That's how I recognise her when she normally looks. She looks completely different in Inherent Vice. That's why I didn't recognise her the first
I
time.
still don't know who she
Alright.
was in Inherent Vice.
She was Penny.
I don't know who that is.
I think Reese Witherspoon's like Carl Urban. It's like, you've seen her before, but you
She's
didn't
a
know it was her.
chameleon.
I disagree. I recognise her in everything but Inherent Vice.
That's because Inherent Vice is a bad movie.
But do you recognise Carl Urban and everything?
We're not. I try to.
This should be a bit. Every episode we talk about Inherent Vice.
Let's talk about Carl Urban. Shout out Carl Urban.
I do like Carl Urban a lot.
What are some other
champion.
things that he's done?
Dread?
He was in The Boys. He was Dredd. He played Scourge in Thor Ragnarok. He played Bones in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. He was in The Lord of the Rings.
He was in something
I
else
was in The Hobbit.
that I really liked that I forgot about. Let me continue. Let me look it up because it's going to annoy me now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Carl Urban's great. Shout out Carl Urban.
Maybe
Love Carl
I
Urban.
should watch more Carl Urban things then.
I want to watch The Boys. I saw because Amazon's uploading clips.
Ah, Doom. He was in the Doom. I forgot he played a guy named John Grimm in the 2005 Doom movie.
Oh, not
Which
not
I
Doom
which I
Annihilation.
actually
Isn't
no, the other one with The Rock.
does the Rock play the Doomslayer?
No, no one plays the Doom Slayer. The closest thing to the closest thing to being Doom Guy is Carl Urban, but it's still not that because it's not really anything close to the games other than it's on Mars and there's demons, but they're not actual demons.
Aren't they just zombies?
It's dumb. Yeah, it's dumb.
Have you seen Doom Annihilation?
I've seen the first hour and 10 minutes and then I fell asleep.
Is it
Not because
really-
the movie was
okay.
bad, just because I was tired. It was.
Well, if you stayed up for 20 more minutes, the movie would have ended.
I know, but I tell it to my brain at 3 a.m. Anyway, I didn't hate it. It wasn't. It wasn't what I wanted from a Doom movie, but I didn't hate it. They at least tried. They clearly had a very low budget to work with. There was an attempt.
Doom or Doom Annihilation?
Annihilation. It's better than the trailers give it credit for. And it's better than its reputation suggests. It's still not a good Doom adaptation.
But would you really want to adapt Doom into a movie though? Because like the whole point of Doom
I
is that
think-
you're the guy tearing apart these.
I think with the story they've established now, with the two new Doom games, I think it could be an awesome movie.
Wasn't there a Natalie Portman movie called Annihilation?
Yes,
Was that good?
it was very good. I liked it a lot. It's one of the movies that does cosmic horror the best that I've seen. Anyway, yeah, but
Speaking of cosmic horror, we should do Color Out of Space. I really want to do that.
we should. I love that movie. I have a whole tangent about Richard Stanley and H.P. Lovecraft in that movie and his other work that I want to go on,
Well,
but
save it for that.
I'll save it for that episode. Yeah, no, I think Doom, with its current story they've established, is ripe for a really cool adaptation. I just, all you need to do to make a good Doom movie, right? Practical effects with the demons and the blood and the gore. Lots of shooty bang bang and demons getting ripped apart by machine guns and shit like that. And music that fits. I think that, the original Doom music is great, but it might not fit for a movie. But the way Mick Gordon has done the soundtrack for the new games has brought it into, like, I wouldn't say mainstream appeal, because it's still very niche industrial metal, but he does it in such a way that feels modern and also pays homage to the original soundtracks at the same time.
Who would you cast as the Doom Slayer?
I don't think it's important. As long as it's someone big, you don't need to show their face.
You know who I'd cast? John
Who?
Cena.
I don't reckon he could do that. I think he's got the physique. I think, because the thing is too,
The main thing is you need the physique.
you need the physique, but you're taking if he doesn't speak and you don't really see his face that much, or you don't really need to see his face that much. I think John Cena has the right face to play Doomguy, actually, now that we mention it. But
You could get the guy who plays the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
you
You
could.
get Batista.
Yeah, Dave Bautista
Dave
could
Bautista.
work. I think someone who too big wouldn't work, but just,
Batista looks too
Relatively-
gentle. He looks like he's too much of a nice guy.
true.
What?
Maybe Nathan Jones.
Tell that to him.
Is he not a nice guy?
No, I think he's a fairly nice guy.
I've seen him in interviews. He just seems like a really lovely guy.
Yeah, he just seems very friendly and approachable. But he's like 6'6", so he'd have a few steps back because he could probably just reach for you and grab you. He could reach through the screen.
He's Juggernaut. He's real life Juggernaut.
I can't watch any Dave Bautista movies now.
Why?
Because he'll reach through the screen and kill me.
Oh,
He was great in as Drax.
yeah.
I hope we get to see.
So that's the
him
thing. Wrestlers can be good actors. I love Roddy Piper as an actor. He's very entertaining. He's got such great charisma. Even like Randy Savage, even though he doesn't have big acting roles, he's entertaining when you see him. Hulk Hogan, not so much.
Wait, Randy Savage was in
Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man. He played Bonesaw.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just entertaining.
Well, and then Hulk Hogan was in Rocky 3. He played
Was he?
he played that wrestler who was like weirdly sexual.
Oh, the guy who's
And
like...
yeah, he gets Rocky and puts him in like a chokehold and throws him out the ring. And then Rocky takes off his gloves and like mounts him on his back and starts like hitting him in the head.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
fucking
see.
weird because he was expecting a boxing match and then he ends up getting the shit beat out of him.
But I think that I think people give The Rock too much shit. I know he's in a lot of really mediocre movies.
Did you watch Skyscraper?
I didn't.
I thought that kind of like ripped
It
off
is
Die Hard.
that's a
Yeah,
weird
that's what it
movie,
is.
Skyscraper. It feels like the embodiment of like a studio movie. Like no creative people were on it at all.
It feels like an AI
yeah,
made it.
Yeah, basically.
But The Rock, he does have some very good pieces like the Walking Tall remake that was pretty good.
He has charisma and he can pull off roles pretty well and he can act pretty decently. I just think I'm waiting for him to do the movie that really like makes people go, oh,
Black Adam.
he's actually really good. Maybe Black
Oh, yeah,
Adam.
Black Adam, maybe. I'm excited for that. I love Shazam.
Is it gonna be connected to Shazam or is it gonna be like a Joker type movie?
Yes, in
Yes.
Shazam 3. They're going to make Shazam 2, which is going to have... I think it's going to be more about the worm that breaks out at the end of Shazam 1, the little caterpillar.
I haven't
Who
seen
has,
Shazam, so and I haven't read the comics, so I don't know anything about any of it.
There's this little worm that like he's got like a massive IQ and apparently he's a caterpillar, sorry. And he's like a mad scientist. But I think that's going to be the villain for Shazam 2 and then Shazam 3 they're going to bring in Black Adam.
Cool. I'm game
I
for
see.
that.
But
I'd watch that.
I'm confused onto how they're going to go because Black Adam is this warrior from ancient Egypt, and then Shazam is just the child.
Well, have you read any of the comics?
I have 6 issues of the latest run that they did, and I stopped reading, so I got a bit bored
Black
after
Adam's more
that.
of an anti-hero anyway. He's not really a full villain.
Yeah, because in Doomsday Clock he makes Kahndaq like this safe haven for people with superpowers. Doomsday Clock was a pretty good run. If Zack Snyder or anyone ever gets the chance to make that into a movie, I think they might do that if they get the rights to for Watchmen season 2 or whatever. If they ever do it. But
Scott and Zack working together.
where were we? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, Evan, did you see Expendables 3?
I've seen the first 2. I don't remember if I've seen 3. I don't think I have.
Oh, because Expendables 3 has Ronda Rousey, who was an MMA fighter, and then she moved into WWE. So I was going to say, what do you think of her acting? 'Cause I didn't think it was bad. I think she was pretty good. She did her own stunts as well.
That's commendable. I do like. That's what I mean. Like a lot of people give wrestlers and UFC fighters shit, but like, I mean, wrestling is fake. Probably they're all good at acting. But anyway, no, I think they're solid actors. I think that there's a lot that are solid actors, and I think that a lot are very entertaining. Like I said, Roddy Piper always has a lot of charisma. I think John
Yeah,
Cena.
They Live and
Yeah.
what was the other one he was in?
Hell Comes to Frogtown. He's in a few of the
Mm.
movies. John Cena is very entertaining. I like him a lot. I think he's funny. I think you're right. Actually, no, now you bring it up, I think he'd be perfect to play the Doom guy because he's got
Yeah,
that
I
look.
reckon
They also have great
He's got that
comedic
really
timing.
square face.
Yeah, it could work perfectly. And obviously he's got the
I've
physique.
noticed WWE superstars have great comedic timing.
They do.
But that that's you could say like, oh, that's the script, but they genuinely, I think they pull off the jokes really well.
Yeah.
Like in I can't remember if it was Endgame or Infinity War, where they have Star-Lord and Gamora, and they're about to kiss, and then Drax is just eating chips, and he talks about how he can stand completely still and not be seen, and then he just slowly reaches into the bag and puts one in his mouth. He was great in Guardians 2 as well, when Mantis talks about Quill's inner feelings.
He just laughs.
He just laughs and like points at him.
No, I love that scene. I know it was in the trailer and it was like overdone because in the trailer, but it was still funny.
There's another bit when they put the jetpack on him, he talks about how his nipples were chafed. That's a bit of like, it's a bit toilet humor, but it just made me like, I laughed so hard. And it's like, my nipples, and he flies off. I loved it.
I do like the Guardians movies. I'm not a big Marvel fan, but I do like the Guardians films.
I've only seen the first one.
I think I like this. Like,
If I had one movie to erase from my mind, it'd be Endgame, just because I want to see it and experience experience all the reveals again.
I'm not that into
What
Marvel
reveals
to
were there that everyone
want to watch
died
Endgame.
and then got brought back?
Funny. No, when everyone came back, when when Captain America lifts the hammer, or like when he wields the hammer, sorry, and he fucking beats the shit out of Thanos, like
Yeah,
claps
but we
him.
all saw that coming.
Did we?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
All right. I don't know.
If you read the comics, maybe you did. I don't know.
I'm not.
If you read the
I'm not a
comics, yeah,
massive
you would have.
Marvel.
I think he wielded it in the
Yeah, but
original Infinity
in
War
Age
one,
of
but then they
Ultron,
had,
he's like he like moved it off the ground a little bit, or like it wobbled when everyone was trying to lift it.
yeah, but and then some people say it's like, oh, he just didn't want to show up Thor. But like, yeah, that film was released like 5 years before Endgame or whenever it was released. I was like, I don't think people thought that ahead.
I think they did.
I
They planned their
absolutely
they planned their movie releases like 10 years in advance. I think they would have thought ahead about that.
Well, now Doctor Strange 2 is coming out
I'm
in
excited.
2022.
Is it still Sam Raimi?
And- Yes, still Sam Raimi.
Excellent.
But then Jamie Foxx is going to come back for Electro in Spider-Man 3 when they make that. And then there's talks of an on-screen Spider-Verse, which means we might get Tobey Maguire coming back, and I'm extremely excited for that.
Why Jamie Foxx?
I don't know, they just couldn't get anyone better to
Why
play
don't they
Electro.
get someone to wear the original Electro costume?
Amazing Spider-Man 2 was
What? It
not
looks
good.
way better than a blue person.
I think Jamie Foxx was alright as Electro. I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 just could have been.
He wasn't
so
he
much
wasn't
better.
what ruined the movie, but he wasn't great
I haven't
either.
seen either of the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
They're not really
The
worth it.
The first one's alright. It's like you watch it once and then you say that you've seen it. But Spider-Man 2 was, oh boy, it was rough.
The only Spider-Man movies I've seen is Spider-Man 1 and 2, like the originals.
I'm not even invested in Spider-Man as a character or as a comic series. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 is irritating to watch. I can imagine how much more worse it'd be for someone who actually likes the comics a lot. Because as someone who doesn't, it was still annoying. We've gone off topic for the majority of this episode.
I think we stayed fairly on topic.
We had good segues into relevant topics, but we talked about other things more than the movie, I think.
It's fine. If people wanted to listen to 50 minutes of American Psycho, they would have just watched the movie.
That is
Fair
true.
enough.
That is true.
Yeah. Have you noticed how much Donald Trump is talked about in this movie?
Yeah,
It's
it's
just-
kind of
just
weird
weird.
looking at watching it now.
I was like watching it and I'm like, huh.
Oh yeah.
Is that Donald
He was
Trump's
like-
car?
And then there was he turns around in that little Mexican restaurant. And he's like, "Is that Ivana?" And he's like, "No, it wasn't."
That's another scene that was playing into him ignoring Reese Witherspoon. She's talking. He's like, "Is that Donald Trump's car?" Oh,
I think he's got because I know Donald Trump was big in the investment market boom or like the
Well,
Wall
he was
Street
he was a
boom
yuppie
as
at
well.
the time. Someone asked him, "Are you a yuppie?" And he's like, "I'm the ultimate yuppie."
I am the ultimate yuppie. I am the best yuppie. No one could ever be as good a yuppie as me.
And now I have COVID.
I love that. I love his appearance in Fresh Prince, when he like apparently buys the house, and the youngest daughter Ashley goes, "I hate you, Donald Trump," and he just goes, "Everybody blames me." And he looks so upset. He does like the John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, where like he looks around and he looks so confused. I saw a tweet that this article published like Home Alone 2 star Donald Trump catches COVID. And I'm like, nah, not that he's the president or anything.
I find it weird.
Star of Home Alone 2, Donald Trump.
He's not done anything else in his career. I find it weird people just don't accept he's their president. Like, I get you don't like him, but he's your president regardless.
Yeah,
I don't want to get
we're
into
not
this.
really a political podcast.
I know.
I don't want to get... We had Black Klansman, and I don't really want to get into it. That was like our heaviest one, I think. I will say, actually, no, I will say, because we're not qualified to talk about politics. But we
Don't
are allowed to have
mansplain
an opinion,
anyone
but,
the politics, Seb.
Shut up, Callum. We don't, personally, I don't know if you guys, I don't speak for you guys, but I don't agree with everything, but he is a fellow person, so I kind of...
He's a fellow human.
He's a fella. He's a human being. So like, you know, he has his political beliefs, albeit some of them are fucking stupid. But people are like, oh, let's pray that he dies. I'm like, that's a bit.
I know.
It's a bit morbid.
Yeah.
Personally, like, I'm not really like. Yeah, I don't agree with him, but I don't wish death upon
Yeah, it's
him.
like when I
Just kick
remember
him
the
out.
day. I remember the day so well when XXX Temptation was killed, and everyone was like, "Oh hell yeah, X is dead," and I'm like, he's 21.
Like, why do you wish death on
He's
some
21 years old.
person? Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Like,
Speaking of Donald Trump, Borat 2. Sacha Baron Cohen is going to dress up as Donald
I'm
Trump
looking at a
Michael
looking
Pence
at
rally.
a tile for it on IMDb right now. I've just had Sacha Baron Cohen staring at me in the face for half an hour.
I just love, there's like, he gets his daughter, puts him on his shoulder, runs through, and he goes, "Michael Penis, I have girl for you." And then everyone just looks at him. I wonder if Donald's going to actually be in the movie, because I know Pence is,
that would be very funny.
as he calls him Mikhail Penis. I'm a bit skeptical on Borat too.
I'm disappointed that the title isn't what it was first revealed to be.
Oh, the one that is it not the massive title that I said to you guys?
No.
Well, I don't think, because it's on Amazon, I don't think they're going to list something as Borat 2 pornographic sex monkey. I think, because
I don't think Amazon cares.
when the original Borat was released, they called it the fucking whatever instructional video for Guide to Kazakhstan, but people just know it as Borat. Like the extra long title's kind of like the meme.
Yeah.
A part of it.
You know, the actual title, I had it saved somewhere, then I forgot what it was.
Pornographic sex monkey.
No, the actual,
for like
it's different now. I think
Borat
at least
subsequent
on the
movie
Amazon
film.
ad. That's the one. Yeah.
subsequent movie film for glory for because I think in the context of both of them, Kazakhstan is now, because of the success of the first one, it's just taken the piss out of Kazakhstan. So the country is like just a shithole now, but it kind of was at the start. It
You
Thought
should
he was.
probably.
always was. I'm not cutting. Well, I don't have to. What did I say that was bad? Yeah, so I think in the context of the story of the Boarverse, the Borat cinematic universe, the BCU.
I'd watch that.
I think, yeah,
I want my BCU films.
Thanos pulls off. He goes to click, and he's like, "And I am Borat," and he clicks it, and he's got the Infinity Gauntlet. No, I'd probably have it on like a condom or something.
It would be the Infinity
Whoever
Condom
they
or
The
something.
Infinity Condom.
The Infinity Gauntlet. Whoever they got to play the daughter, mate, the chops she has, honestly. Like that, there's that clip in the trailer where she's dancing and she like pulls up the dress and just flashes everyone. I'm like, mate, absolute respect to her. She's got fucking the gall to go alongside him and do the absolute dumb shit that he does.
I like that they're going in the direction that, because Borat's such a popular thing, such a big hit, everyone's gonna recognize him. And I like that, that he
that's
has
the
to like.
problem.
I like that his solution to that was, I'll just pretend to be Borat, pretending to be other people.
I love when he goes to the Halloween store and he goes, "Is this sex criminal?" It's fucking Harry Potter. The guy's just like, "No, he's not a sex criminal. Is this a sex criminal?"
I'm excited. I'm keen to watch it. It'll be funny.
It's gonna, mate.
It's gonna piss a lot of people off, especially this day and age.
It's gonna bring back everyone going, "My wife." And then, like when Borat originally came out, everyone just goes, "Great success."
I tell you what, I'm glad I'm not in high school.
Do that.
I know we
We
do.
still do it, yeah.
I'm glad I'm not in high school though, because you know that it's
mate,
gonna be
all the little year nines are gonna start going, "Great success."
Yeah.
My wife.
yeah. Because when the original
Because
came
year
out.
nines are the worst.
I got a friend. I still talk to one of the kids from old high school. Shout out to Matt. He's in year 9.
I don't talk to anyone from my old high school besides like 2 people.
Oh, fuck, we're already at 56 minutes. Do we want to give final thoughts?
What was the movie again?
American shut the fuck off. We had some good content. We talked about American Psycho for
20 minutes.
a bit. I think our film bro tangent was pretty good. I think it was
pretty good.
definitely
It was
a good
pretty good.
discussion.
Hey, let's review our content in the episode. Good idea.
Episode 11. Let's go back and look at our other
Episode 11, we're doing a film. We're doing episode 10 of Rewind Rental and episode 11.
No, we're redoing the episode 8 Inherent Vice.
No.
With a different
Please
movie.
no.
With not Inherent Vice.
Episode 8 Redux.
I was gonna say, at some point, like 100 episodes later, should we go back and redo films we've already done?
If there's a
But-
demand for it.
I don't think so. I don't think our opinions will change that all that
I know
much.
that my opinion definitely won't change on Inherent Vice.
Yeah, I don't think a second watch is gonna help me on that one.
Inherent Vice.
Just a bad movie, bro.
Get out.
If we get another comment going, stop talking about shit about Inherent Vice. It's a good movie. You didn't get it. I'm gonna throw something.
Shout out.
I'm gonna punch
Shut up.
drywall.
You're gonna throw it. Oh, you film bro.
I'm gonna put on my Monster Energy hat and punch a wall.
Shout out. Shout
No,
out.
you're gonna
Rebel
put on
Punks
your
88.
you're gonna put on your vintage thrifted sweater and take out your Polaroid camera and be like, "I'm a cinematographer." Yeah.
Yes.
Look at my screen grabber cam.
I'm gonna put a hole in the wall of my rental property.
Do you reckon film bros just hand out their letterbox account and be like, "Oh, check out my
They put-
list."
I've done
They
that
put their
before.
Oh,
They
you
put their
fuck.
letterbox account like they print it out as a URL, no, as like a barcode and put it all over the city.
That's on their business card.
All the filmers looking at each other's or at all of each other's letterbox. They're all just sweating.
They're like resumes. That'd be a good.
Oh,
That'd be
no,
a
they
good
have, like-
parody of the business card scene.
They're like, "Oh, it's like mine has the Tarantino blood splatter. What does yours have?" And the guy's just like, "Mine's based off American Psycho," and the guy's just looking at it, just like, "Mine's based off of Fight Club." It's like pink with it. It's like with the bar of soap, and there's just like sweating.
Oh my god, he even has Letterboxd Pro.
He pays $7.99 a month. Oh, I must destroy him.
I cannot believe.
I love how film bros it is like, yes, I'm a director. You should, I have sex appeal. Fuck off.
Is that a thing?
You're the only one with
I
TikTok,
think
so you've got all the inside knowledge on this one.
Yeah, we don't know.
The way TikTok describes it, yeah, film boys are kind of like, oh. Basically, the way they kind of go about it is like they want girls like Ramona Flowers who are like incredibly toxic, and they all have main character complexes.
I love Ramona Flowers.
So like they believe that they're the hero of their story, which is incredibly.
Ramona
pretentious.
Flowers is?
No, like that they believe they're the main
Good.
character. Like they
I
live
won't.
their
I
life
won't
like
accept any
like
shit
they're the
talking
main
about
character.
Ramona Flowers.
Don't start this
Ramona
again.
Flowers is a toxic person. I'm sorry. No, it's fucking dumb that people are like, oh, she's so fun. Oh. Like, no, she's not. The whole basis of their characters are they're not good people.
Dead silence. Callum,
Yeah, I love
you
hit
killed.
a bit of a lull there.
You've killed Callum. You've killed Callum.
Anyway, final thoughts. What do we think? Callum, was your pick. You go first.
I love this movie. It's a very good movie. Great success.
My wife, 10 out of 10.
We're doing
Oh
it
yeah,
out
we're
of
doing it
five
at
now,
5.
I don't know what we're fucking doing anymore.
We're doing it out of 5. 5 is like you love, 3 is meh, 1 is hate.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun, just on all aspects. Kept me watching till the end. Kept me hooked to the screen.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I've seen it now. Quite a few.
Did Seb ask you, Evan?
I think it's endlessly...
Did
Sorry?
Seb ask you, Evan?
I'm going... Alright, I thought it was a good segue off your thoughts.
No,
but
keep going.
alright.
It's alright.
I'm sorry, I didn't know my jurisdiction was conveying. Evan, what are your
No,
final
no,
thoughts?
I'll let you finish, Cal.
No,
Go ahead.
I was actually done.
Exactly.
Yeah, Callum, you film bro.
Bro, Fight Club? Don't get me wrong, but don't talk about Fight Club. First
I
rule of
haven't
Fight
seen
Club.
it.
You're not allowed to talk about it.
Evan, your thoughts, please. I gotta take a piss.
What a great... We were going so well. Until right...
Say your thoughts. I'm busting.
I'm gonna wait just for you. I've seen the film many times now. I love it. It's very fun. I never thought I'd be saying this about a movie about a serial killer, but it's fun. It's entertaining. It's endlessly rewatchable. Always one of those movies where you can notice new things, new details every time. So I'll give it a... I think I'm comfortable giving it 5. Dropping a chainsaw down 10 flights of stairs out of 5.
I'd give it
Dropping 5 chainsaws
5
at it, yeah.
severed heads in a freezer out of 5.
No, I'm changing mine. Find 5 buckets of sorbet out of 5.
Oh, that's a good one.
There's a lot of sorbet talk.
Five videotapes that need to be returned out of 5.
So Seb, what are your thoughts? I'll tell you, Seb. So I didn't mind the movie. Whether I'd watch it again, probably not sure. You know, it was all right. I don't think I ever want to watch it again. I didn't say I'd ever. I said I really have a want. There's no need. I don't have to watch it again.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I have respect for it. Christian Bale's everyone's performance was actually solid. No one was like a bad actor in my opinion. Everyone.
Yeah,
was
even
good.
like the small roles were fine.
Yeah, like even Christie, the other ones, they didn't go named. Oh, one I know he called one Sabrina. They were all good.
That wasn't even her name.
Solid.
He just like, I'm gonna call you Sabrina.
Yeah, and was like she just goes, yeah, right. Mary Harron, the director, was great.
Before we
great.
finalise too, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The soundtrack is amazing.
Oh
Yeah, the sound
soundtrack
mixing's
was
pretty good.
actually banging.
Every single song is a classic.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd give it, I'd say, yeah, a 3 Huey Lewis and the News CDs out of 5. You know, I didn't hate it, didn't love it. Meh, I'm impartial. I'd recommend it though. You know, it's a good watch.
Fair enough.
Thank you for listening to Rewind Rental. If you'd like to send us an email, you can at rentalrewind .biz
I don't
biz
think
at
you need to spell it.
gmail.com.
I think you're just confusing people if you just spell it.
Rentalrewind.biz at gmail.com.
There you go.
We have an Instagram, Rewind Rental Podcast. You can DM us there. You can email us at the email. It'll be in the bio. We're on all your.
We're on everything.
Spotify,
Everything.
Spotify, Apple, Amazon.
We are everywhere. We're always watching.
We're everywhere. No one listens to us. we're all self-aware film bros.
We're all knowing and all seeing.
That should be a T-shirt. That should be a T-shirt in the future.
No, it shouldn't.
Self-aware film bros.
No one's gonna buy that.
They'll buy it. If you make it, they'll come. If we build
We
it,
need
they
an
will
actual
come.
audience first that isn't the same 3 people that we know.
Shout out the same
we need
3
at
people.
least like in the double digits.
That'd be nice.
I'd
Anyway.
say triple digits more so.
What a great finale.
Thank you for listening. I've been Seb,
can
joined
you
by
hear
Callum
Seb?
and Evan. This has been Real One Rental, episode 10.
I can't hear Seb.
Me neither.
This has been real. No, it's cool.
Cool. Guess I'll end the
Both
episode
of you.
here. See you next time.
week.
Fuck. I know you guys can hear me. Fuck you.